Hello, everybody. It is Badger Wild, and we are back with another Space Engineer ship review. This time, we are checking out something pretty cool. Saw this ship, and I thought, oh, that's a pretty cool ship. That's pretty awesome. And then didn't realize it's what I'm calling a bigature. If you ever watched Lord of the Rings, you'll remember that they've made all these giant models, massive models. They called them bigatures because they were miniature big models. Um, but that's basically what this thing is. So let's just jump right in and check this out. So starting up here, if things will respond like they're supposed to, we have the CX-2373 Fool's Errand. Often seen as a reliable civilian workhorse, the CX-2373 light freighter is an extremely proficient design, a prolific design, I'm sorry, with Alchemist and the surrounding systems. I think I said that correctly. I may have said that wrong. This particular ship, known to her crew as the Fool's Errand, is a well regarded and respected ship for hire. Oftentimes, the Fool's Errand takes on jobs no one will at an extreme discount. Oh, the lore is great here. I'm going to have to hold on because I usually because I'm starting a thing where I put the lore in the videos. We're going to stop there and I'm going to let y'all read the lore when you get in. But as far as DLCs are concerned, requires Warfare 2, Field Work, Heavy Industry, Signal Blocks, Decorative Blocks 3, Automations, Contact DLC, Sparks of the Future, Wasteland, and Warfare 1. It is made by Iteration, I think Crunchy is the one who's made this. I think so. It's got something going on here. I'm having some difficulty this morning with my, as I'm recording this. Drop a like on that. And let's just see what you guys are getting here. And what you have is this interesting ship that looks like it is ripped straight out of the background of a Star Wars movie or comic book. Two main guns that I can find on this ship. There's only two. And they're basic point defense weapon systems. But when I said bigature, what I mean is this is a large small block ship. Meaning we have built a large capable vessel out of nothing but small blocks. And this lends itself to some certain design advantages. For one thing, and there's a trick with artistry. If you want to make something look more detailed, you simply make it in a larger fashion and then shrink it down to the media that you're going to use it at. I.e., I think comic books were drawn about 3 or 4 times the size of what was necessary for the page. And then they took that and just shrunk it down. A lot of people don't know that. And by shrinking that down, they were able to pull in a whole lot of details and everything else. And it makes the lines and everything look crisp. It's just a very simplistic thing that can be done. So if you want to make something look really good, sometimes you just blow it up, then shrink it. In this case, we are building a large block ship in size, somewhere in the space of the far end of the light spectrum to the short end of the medium spectrum. But we're doing this all with small blocks. You can see here, this lends itself to some very cool details being placed on the ship. You have far more, instead of a 3x5 block, you're able to set up a large set of systems and whatnot and level in a section of detail that you normally don't see. Also, the custom guns just look amazing on this. Going down here to the bottom, you can see the landing gears and much of the systems that we have in place for the ship land. Like I said, this is very much something you would see in Star Wars. Honestly, this is a ship you could pull right into Star Wars. Um, Add 2 long sections here, and you have something akin to the Ebon Hawk. So I mean, you have all sorts of cool stuff. We've got 2 custom turrets on here, twin Gatling guns, which are surprisingly a lot more firepower than most large ships have in twin Gatling cannons. This is a vast improvement on just simply slapping in a basic turret. Iteration's gone the extra mile here. He's gone the extra mile to make a turret. Not only make a turret that looks good. It looks amazing. I'm gonna have to steal some turret concepts from Iteration. Looking along here, we see the new medium cargo container, a nice long one. Now we see about 4 of those. This thing has a decent amount of cargo space for something that is ultimately a freighter. Lots of hydrogen. But what's interesting is when you get inside one of these ships, because these things look great from the outside. It's when you get inside these ships that's where things get interesting. So we push a button here, down drops us on a nice little ramp, and we can ramp right up into the ship. Push a button here, we can open that up, and we're just gonna shut this door right now. And inside here, you can see, oh my, the detail. Oh me, oh my, the detail. We have buttons, we have guns, we have a medic station, we have lots of stuff. We got 2 landing gear right here smashed together to make some type of piston system or something. But from here, I think we can actually, yep, we can lift this up. And that shuts that door. And that may lock it in place. You see right here, we have a radar station. We've got all kinds of buttons and details and everything. I've got my lights on. When I turn the lights off for a minute, you can see just the ambience of walking into this room. There's all kinds of details that are hidden in the background. Your eyes are catching this stuff, but they're not fully processing it to you. It's just adding to the aesthetic of being inside of a room. That's just as awesome. So we're going to open this door here, walk on through, and you see, as I said before, with the small blocks, and this is why Space Engineers is going to be so awesome, which is why I am desperately trying to get the money together, and life just does not work. But yeah, we all know the struggle. You need an upgrade. Bills come first. So I'm probably going to have to take this ship and go do some cheap missions just to pay some stuff. But anyway, checking this area out in here, you've got all kinds of little bitty details. And this is why Space Engineers 2 is going to be so much fun. Because with a unified grid, we can have large blocks building a ship, and then we can put all these added little tiny blocks inside to create these interesting details. Now, one issue, we can't operate on this ladder. You're not able to go up onto the ladder. This is kind of because we need a walkway here, and this is kind of blocking a character from getting up. But heading up here, we have the main console room. We're going to hold off on that for a minute because I want to fly this thing around. But we're going to go in here into what is arguably the main area. And we're going to pop our lights back on, if my lights will come back on. There we go. And you can see right here, we've got one cart. We've got a seat here. This is kind of offset on its own deal. And this is what happens when you take the subgrid system and start turning it. We're going to be able to get away with a lot less of this in the new game. We've got all of our good stuff in the back. Let me see. Can I turn this thing? No, I can't. I might be able to turn it, actually. Let me hop in here for a second. Pull up tab. Look through here. Can I turn that? Nope. Let's turn that off. But that is that chair there. We can actually access the main guns on the outside and kind of turn them and shoot them and everything else. But we have all these buttons and knobs and all these extra little blocks that can make a good detail on their own, but added together in such a small space ends up making some cool stuff. We have access to cargo here. We have a secondary access back here. We also have our engines, 2 pretty good sized nuclear reactors side by side right here in this little containment. I'm going to have to build something like this on a large block ship with a with some subgrids, because this is a pretty good idea of building, stuff. Great use of scripts here. We've got a lot of good scripts just giving us ideas of everything we have. We can come up and look at it. All kinds of screens we can add stuff to. Lots of good. You can see the H2O2 generator in the back there just working its magic. This ship also, for a small ship, it has gravity. And the way we're accomplishing the gravity is by using a subgrid to attach a grav generator to the ship and then modifying the grav field around it. This is pretty cool. Over in here, we have the commons area. We have some nice reflective tiles, backsplash up there, some sinks, kitchen, got a nice little stove there, microwave, lots of good stuff, coffee maker. Do we have a refrigerator? Is there a fridge? There's no fridge. Oh, iteration. Why is there no fridge? We've got 2. Well, I'll say this. We got 2 effing coffee makers. Do we really need food? We have the caffeine. We have the caffeine. We do not need food. But going on, we're seeing a couple of old tricks being utilized in a modern fashion. We are seeing, how stacking up other oxygen bottles and stuff going in, but with the beds, we have the bunk bed system, which is very new, being utilized with a different system here. And where people used to build bed areas like this out of large blocks to make a bed look, and now we see this being used as an accent to make some pretty cool beds. And you can see we've got everything in both sections. These are exactly the same. We can actually look around here. Oh, we've actually got a button under here too. That's cool. But as you can see, we've got place where we've hidden turret controllers. A lot of this stuff just being hidden right in the open. And iteration Crunchy, one of the things I've noticed about his builds, he likes to hide things. He likes to take baseline systems and use them to decorate in other areas just so he can make it work. Uh, Very good deal going on here. We can actually toggle these lights on and off, which is amazing. Pretty cool. Let's go on back here. And we have another area here we can hop into, which is, I'm not sure what this room is supposed to be for, but we have access to a lot of stuff, some type of engineering, I suppose. But you can see we have our high functioning gyroscope here. We got our Prototech gyroscope. We got our Prototech battery. I am certain that is a Prototech battery. Yes, it is. It is a Prototech battery right there. So we've got a hidden compartment back here with some Prototech, just giving us a couple of extra options here. We've got some small cargo containers, a couple of extra batteries, control panels galore, buttons, all this analog stuff. I love analog buttons on things. And there's a story that I wrote I wrote and Lost a long time ago, where one of the characters is a pilot. He absolutely hates touchscreens because, in his words, analogs analogs are there to be gently manipulated with. Touchscreens are just there for looks. And yeah, so we have that nice little engineering compartment we can actually control. And yeah, I haven't showed off the awesomeness that are these turrets. They're fast, they're effective, and we can put down some effective fire all over here. I believe we have access to the one at the bottom as well. So one guy can control these turrets. This is kind of, oops, hit the exit button there accidentally. Well, this is kind of like a multi-crew ship. You can have people on here. Probably two guys can operate it mostly. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop in here into the main corridor. And like I said, we've got a lot of things. We've got turret control blocks not turret control blocks. We have those, but we've also got these other systems in place here on a small block. Like I said, small block ships just make these interesting, intricate details that you just can't get with large blocks, which is why it really pisses me off that Space Engineers 2 uses requirements that make my PC want to kill itself. Because we can now do this in Space Engineers 2. You can basically build a large block ship and then decorate it with all of the tiny little blocks. And we're getting more tiny little blocks by the day. And every day I'm just, why do I have to be cursed with a NVIDIA 1060? But oh well. We have Space Engineers 1 and they're still working on it as far as I'm concerned. That'll work for now. Well, we have our nice little cockpit. You can see we have built an awesome cockpit. This is one of the, as I said, this is one of the things you can do with small ships that you just can't do with big ships. You in Space Engineers 1, and you can do this in Space Engineers 2. This is just showing everyone here, this is how life's going to be in Space Engineers 2. We're going to be able to build some downright crazy ships. You're going to have a corridor, and then you're going to be sitting there looking at a corridor like, what kind of small blocks? You got three sizes of blocks. Which one are you going to use in here? But hopping into this, we see all the stuff that we have access to. We have a comms array online. We have radar. We have all kinds of little buttons. Great use of the slanted blocks, the slanted screen blocks that we have that are just basically a block. These are now part of the reinforcement of it. And it makes it look like, well, we've added a screen to the surface just for the heck of it. We have all sorts of goodies. We can see all of our power over here. The pilot has access to a lot of stuff. This is just that little ship that you build. It has the feel of the ship, and one person mentioned this, and they said this perfectly. Sometimes the ship that you build in survival is the ship you love the most because it's something that you've built and you try to take care of it a little better. And this has that feel. It has the feel of a ship that we've built and we're hanging on to and we're flying around doing stuff with. And it's just you and your buddy and you and your buddy just sitting in there with you, just flying around the universe. It's awesome. Like I said, we have radar, we have all kinds of stuff. This thing looks and feels like something out of Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous. And that is a difficult thing to do with smaller ships at times because you have all this stuff. It's not just knowing, it's not just having all this equipment, it's knowing how to use it. And Iteration Crunchy has done a very good job. But I love Iteration Crunchy's builds when he goes in there and just builds something fucking nuts. Okay. But for the sake of this, let's see how fast this thing is. And we'll just hit the forward there, and you guys get to see a nice little speed test and not a bad flight capability. For a ship that's designed this way, it can hit speeds, and we don't need it to go fast. We don't need it to move quick. It's just got to get from point to point B. It probably has enough power to get it. So I wonder if this can land on planets. I think it probably can. Fully loaded, I'm not sure. But looking at this, I think it should be able to. But this is just that little ship that you and your buddies are like, yeah, we're going to take some stuff and fly it up to the main base and everything. We have a lot of stuff. Number one, we have our turrets. Number two, we have cycling. Number three, I think, is target lock. Number four is for a camera on the side of the vessel. Number six is our jump drives, which appears we have Prototech jump drives. So this ship is, I guess, part of the nomination of this is it can be a modified ship. Number eight is a hinge, probably for that front door, I would suppose. Yeah, it is. And number nine is a timer block. I don't know what that. Oh, hello. We have droppable landing gear. That's awesome. You can also see here in the back where Iteration Crunchy has basically set a gravity generator to give this ship some gravity, which is also very awesome. Number one on our second page is our lock. Number four, I believe, is the recharge for our Protec battery. Number five is for our nuclear power. And number seven turns on and off our drive. Number eight determines how it increases the distance, I suppose. And number nine decreases the distance. Also have page three here. Page one gives us access to the top turret. Two gives us access to the bottom turret. Four recharges, or I believe four and five, both are going to recharge our oxygen and hydrogen. Number six turns our O2H2 on and off. And that's it. About 3 pages of things for the pilot to operate with. And which makes this ship just a very interesting concept. Like I said, this is something that you should attempt at some point when you're playing Space Engineers. You should attempt a ship like this. You should attempt a bigature, a large ship with small blocks. It's interesting. And this, when these ships were first being built, when people were building large ships with small blocks, it very quickly proved to everyone that if this could be operated and done without subgrids, it would be awesome. And we're doing this now with Space Engineers 2. Like I said, my problem right now is I can't run Space Engineers 2 because NVIDIA 1060 just it doesn't. It says it's a minimum, but minimum is right. There's not a. I have more. There are more instances where I have more difficulty and the game just crashes sometimes. It won't handle it. So I'm gonna, like I said, we're looking for an upgrade at some point. We're trying to upgrade at some point. I don't know how I'm gonna upgrade, but I don't know. I may have to build a new PC to run that. But anyway, folks, like I said, this is what we have right now in Space Engineers 1. It is still being operated and worked on. Keen is still providing updates. We should be getting an update this September, which is going to add food and radiation. And it appears that Space Engineers 1 is going to be used as a test bed for technology that's going to be used in Space Engineers 2. So, Space Engineers 1, just as important for the development of Space Engineers 2, as it's going to get awesome on Space Engineers 1. So until we get everything up to snuff on Space Engineers 2, Space Engineers 1 is where all the future tech is going to be at. It's still Space Engineers 2 is still the predecessor of Space Engineers 1 is still the predecessor of Space Engineers 2. I've said Space Engineers so many times it's starting to get my tongue tied. But anyway, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this ship inspires you to build something awesome like this. And before I go, let me just say, if you enjoyed this video and you like what's going on this channel and you want to help out, the easiest thing you can do is like, comment, and subscribe. Those are the easiest things you can do. That tells YouTube that this is content that is enjoyable to you, and then it will try to find other people that might enjoy this content as well. If you want to go further helping out the channel, we do have a membership. Membership right now gives you early access to every video that I have. And I know what you're thinking, yeah, Badger, but I don't want to pay $9.99 a month. No, it's not $9.99. It's just 99. Okay, it is 0.99 cent sign. Okay, it's less than $1 to join the membership. Thank you all for that. Thank you all for the memberships that have been coming in. I'm gonna have to do a video because we got one member right now. I'm gonna have to do a video on the membership thing. I think I'm just going to do a video with him. That would just a collab. We're just going to get together and do something. Anyway, folks, like I said, thank you all for watching. Do check out Iteration Crunchy's ship. It will be in the description. And as always, I am Badger Wild saying stay safe, stay frosty. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.